All right, well, if you weren't at Thirlby Field tonight for week 3 of prep football, that was just a little taste of what you missed, because that wasn't just one, that was 2 prep marching bands in studio, both the Trojan and Titan marching bands, gracious enough to join us for another week of Hometown Highlights. And what do you know, it's pretty much their week, because everything used to culminate at the end of the year when Central and West would meet in week 9, creating that unique aura that had a playoff potential in line and, in some cases, a conference championship. A little different preparation for the 2013 meeting, though, as both teams meet in week 3, and West owns a series lead in this one, 11 wins to 5 losses, but Central did win last year, and this game is always a pick'em, so let's take you to the highlights. And it was, of course, the 2nd annual Patriot Game. Great atmosphere to start, a giant flag for the national anthem. Our servicemen and women and veterans on the field beforehand, both players shaking hands, and the teams here as well. And the fans were ready for this one, young and old. No scoring in the first half, but Central makes the first big play of the game. It's Ethan Campbell. Lethal Ethan is gone. Runs more than 3/4 lengths of the field, and the Trojans go up 7-0 like that. But 21 seconds left in the half. Don't think West is going in without a score. Near the end zone, Grant Bellino ties it up, and we're at 7 apiece. And how about we get a little intermission? What do you know? It's the guys who are in studio. They're going to go ahead and serenade us in the highlight as well. They're just that good. Under 3 minutes to go in the 3rd quarter. West near the end zone again. Max Ludka gets the call this time. This one puts the Titans up 14-7. We're going to move along to the middle of the 4th quarter. Dangerous time. Central's got to score, and they do. Williams hands off to Campbell, and Campbell finishes it on the far end. We're tied up at 14 apiece. Under a minute to go. Central goes for the win with a 40-plus yarder. And it comes up just short in this one. And guess what? The Titans would be the ones winning on a field goal in overtime. West takes the game tonight at Thirlby Field, final 17-14. Another big game in the Big North took place tonight as Cadillac played host to the Northmen of Petoskey. With a minute left in the first, Cadillac's Jalen Brooks, he is a dangerous QB, folks, drops back, hits TJ Baker for the score. It's 6-0 Vikings, but Petoskey answers right back early in the second. Quarterback Kurt Boschert punches it in, end of the half, and it's Brooks calling his own number. We warned you about him early. Cadillac QB runs it himself, and Louis Finch gets the 2-point conversion. Cadillac goes on to win at home and get themselves a good league win tonight, 20-7. To Elk Rapids we go. 2 former Lake Michigan Conference foes meeting up in this one. Elk Rapids hosting Traverse City St. Francis. In the first quarter, Elk's QB Adam Troutman drops back, hits Colin Wilson for a huge gain inside the 5-yard line. It looks like he's going to go the whole way, but he's going to get brought down. Looks like he tripped up on the grass there. I hope he's okay. No grass stains on the uniform. I guess he can wash it later. On the very next play, defender falls down. Troutman hits Rob Wolfington for the score, and the Elks are in business, 7-0. Elks haven't lost this year yet, and they are dangerous when their offense is clicking. But the Gladiators, they got some offense in them as well. Sophomore Joe Trucco gets the carry here, and he puts it in high gear. Huge score for the road team. But then it's the speedster, Tice Grays for the Elks. He's going to run out of a pile and race to the end zone as well. But guess what? St. Francis, they're your winners on the road tonight by 10, defeating the Elks 36-26. And in Kalkaska, the Blue Blazers welcomed the Boyne City Ramblers this evening. Blue Blazers, always an enthusiastic student section. In the 3rd quarter, Kalkaska QB Will Noble. He's picked off here by Boyne City's Max Cooper. He brings this one back for the Ramblers, and he's going to keep going. I thought he was down 5 yards ago, but he's going to keep pushing through, and he's still not down. Go, Max, go. You had a very impressive return there, young man. In the 4th quarter, Boyne has it, 4th and goal. QB Corey Redmond is scrambling, looking for the end zone, but he's brought down by the Blazers at the 1-yard line. He's going to come up that short of a score, but on the very next play, Boyne flexing some defensive muscle. Very next drive, excuse me, they bring down Tristan Hart for a safety, 2 points for the Boyne City Ramblers. And what do you know? They win in this one on the road, 22-6, the final in Kalkaska. All right, welcome back to Hometown Highlights. Traverse City Central, the marching band in studio, playing double duty tonight, but it was an easy gig, both in Traverse City. They're at Thirlby Field for the Trojans and Titans, and now they're here joining us in studio. But they're not the only Trojans in northern Michigan making history. There's also some in Missaukee County. Lake City coming off an impressive 10-2 season last year, which saw them make the regional finals. Now, they're already off to a great start in 2013, outscoring their first two opponents. I'm not making this up, 101-0. 101-0. So they've got it covered seemingly on both sides of the ball. To Lake City we go. Pick things up in the third. Trojans already up big. We know that. QB Drew Marion calls his own number from 12 yards out, makes a guy miss, and it's 44-6 at that point. Lake City over Manistee. Later in the third, it's Joe Truesdale. He's going to scamper downfield for a big game before being brought down by a group of Manistee Chips. And again, they give us to Truesdale. He caps off a big night for the Trojans. They go on to win this one 58-6, but seemingly that's the norm for them. So they're looking good 3 weeks into the season. Glen Lake hosting Benzie Central tonight, a Northwest Conference matchup. Trevor Apsey. Man, we've got some all-stars all over these highlights tonight. Apsey, one of them, a big run here. He's going to get 56 total yards covered on his shoes. He's also going to get 6 points. That's a touchdown, makes it 30. It makes it a big deficit in the second half, we'll tell you that much. Next kickoff, nice return by Mike Hoffert. Out of the end zone, watch the Husky at work. He's going to return it 60 yards. And we're going to watch them all 60 yards because that's a little longer than 56, if you don't mind me saying. But Glen Lake, they were the home team, and they were the winners tonight, 35-6 the final. Frankfort and Mesik locking up over in Frankfort, another Northwest Conference matchup. First Frankfort drive, handoff to Cole Holenbeck. Holenbeck holding nothing back. He goes 40 yards before being brought down inside the 10-yard line. And he's going to get another pitch later on. They said, young man, you did such a good job with that first one. Why don't you go ahead and take the stats from this whole drive? And he says, okay, I got it. 8-0 Frankfort, just like that. David Loney, he's their QB. Tosses one up, but Mesik jumps in there. Chad Mathewson, he gets the interception for the Bulldogs. Frankfort, though, keeps plugging away. Loney finds Mason Loney. Are they related? I don't know. I hope to find out soon. For 30 yards down to the 2. Then Loney pitches to Brendan Kelly. 16-0 Panther lead at that point, and they go on to win at home by 9, 22-13 the final there. How about a couple Ski Valley matchups to top you off for the prep football tonight? Gaylord St. Mary hosting Central Lake. St. Mary coach Kevin Connell giving his team a pep talk. In the second half, Central Lake's George Thayer, though, gets the ball, moving his team downfield. Thayer gets the ball again here. He'll hit the outside turn, and as Nate Edwards likes to say, turn on the Jets. Gets tripped up, though. He'll still find his way into the end zone, so good move there, touchdown. Next drive we go. St. Mary's looking to strike back. Anders Marquand gets the handoff up the middle, his team towards the end zone, which sets up the Snowbirds for this one. Nick Harrington launches it to the end zone. Charles Strell is there for the touchdown. A big scoring game in Gaylord, 83 points in all, but the Trojans have one extra. Central Lake wins 42-41. Johannesburg Lewiston, their band is primed and ready to go, playing Mansalona, the Ironmen visiting Johannesburg. The Cardinals ready on an early drive. Dylan Cushman would get the ball, drive around the outside, and come within yards of the end zone. Next play, they'll give it to Nick May. It's not a question of may, it's a question of how, and that's how it goes in. You take it left, it powers his way in enemy territory, touchdown Cardinals. But Mansalona will take this one over in the next drive. Justin Spires playing very inspired on the field, find an opening, make his way down to the field to put his team in scoring position. Spires gets the ball again. It's a close one. He dives towards the end zone. Refs will rule this one a score. Mansalona, they went on the road tonight. First one of the year for the Ironmen, 28-6. To the victors go the spoils. We're going to let the Traverse City West Titan Marching Band close out the show for Hometown Highlights. Thank you very much for joining us tonight. Have a great weekend, everybody.